The forest stood silent, a guardian of secrets. Ancient trees gnarled and twisted, clawed at the fading light. A chill wind whispered through the leaves, carrying the scent of decay. Deep within, shrouded by mist and shadow, lay Blackwood Asylum. Forgotten, abandoned, a monument to despair. The asylum, once a beacon of hope, now resembled a skull. Windows like vacant eyes stared out blindly. The stone walls, stained and crumbling, spoke of years of neglect. Whispers danced on the wind, stories of the tormented souls who had resided within. The air hung heavy, thick with the weight of unspeakable memories. Liam Harper, a writer drawn to the macabre, had heard the whispers. Legends of Blackwood Asylum, of the patients who never left, of the horrors that lingered. He craved the truth, the stories etched into the asylum's very foundation. His footsteps, the only sound in the oppressive silence, echoed his growing unease. The iron gate groaned, a death rattle that sent shivers down Liam's spine. He stepped inside, the world outside vanishing behind a wall of trees. The air grew colder, the silence deeper. He pulled out his notebook, his hand trembling slightly. This was it, the heart of the darkness. The asylum's interior was a labyrinth of decaying grandeur, a haunting reminder of a forgotten past. Dust-covered furniture lay in disarray, remnants of lives shattered and stories untold. Each piece a silent witness to the chaos that once reigned. The air was thick with the stench of mildew and something else, something unnameable, a scent that hinted at the despair and hopelessness that had seeped into the very walls. Liam could almost hear the echoes of screams, the shuffle of restless feet, and the whispers of those who had long since departed, their voices lingering in the shadows. He wandered through the rooms, each one a window into madness, each corner a testament to the suffering that had taken place within these walls. Restraints lay discarded on a rusting bed, a chilling reminder of the torment endured by those who had been confined here. A child's doll, its porcelain face cracked, stared up at him from the floor, its empty eyes reflecting the sorrow of forgotten innocence. Scrawled on the walls, messages in faded paint hinted at the torment within. They're watching, can't escape. The words seemed to pulse with a life of their own. Liam felt a cold dread creep up his spine. He was not alone. The shadows seemed to move, and he could feel eyes watching him from the darkness. Deeper into the asylum, Liam stumbled upon a room hidden away from the rest. Unlike the others, it was meticulously kept, almost as if someone had been there recently. A single bed, neatly made, stood in the center, its white sheets contrasting the gloom. A bookshelf, filled with worn volumes, lined one wall, each book telling a story of its own. And on the wall, a portrait of a woman, her eyes piercing through the dust and time. Her eyes, filled with a haunting sadness, seemed to follow Liam's every move, as if trying to communicate. He found a journal on the bedside table, its pages filled with elegant script, detailing a life long forgotten. It belonged to the woman in the portrait, Eleanor Vance, a patient at Blackwood, whose story was etched in every line. Her words spoke of cruel experiments, of a darkness that consumed the asylum, leaving behind only whispers. Liam felt a connection to Eleanor, a shared sense of dread and fascination, as if their fates were intertwined. Her story was Blackwood's story, a tragedy waiting to be unravelled, a tale of forgotten souls seeking peace. As Liam delved deeper into Eleanor's journal, a terrifying truth began to emerge. Blackwood wasn't just an asylum. It was a prison for those deemed different, for those with abilities deemed dangerous. Eleanor, gifted with psychic abilities, had been tortured. Her mind probed, her sanity shattered. Her words became increasingly frantic, filled with a growing terror of the asylum's true purpose, to harness the power of the patients, to unleash something dark and powerful upon the world. But something had gone wrong. The power had become uncontrollable, consuming everything in its path, leaving Blackwood a desolate shell. Liam reached the final entry in Eleanor's journal, his fingers trembling as he turned the fragile page. It was a farewell, a desperate plea for understanding, written in a shaky hand that spoke of fear and sorrow. "The darkness," she wrote, It doesn't die. It lingers, waiting for the right moment to strike. It waits. Suddenly the air grew heavy, as if the room itself was holding its breath. The shadows in the room seemed to writhe and twist, taking on forms that were almost human. Liam felt a cold hand on his shoulder, a whisper in his ear that sent chills down his spine. It was Eleanor, or rather her tormented spirit, bound to Blackwood, unable to find peace. She wasn't warning him, she was thanking him for listening, for remembering, for giving her story a voice. And then, with a gut-wrenching scream, Liam understood the true horror of her words. He wasn't there to uncover the truth, but to become a part of the story that Eleanor had left behind. He was there to become part of it, to be consumed by the same darkness that had taken Eleanor. Blackwood wasn't haunted by the past. It was waiting for its future, a future that now included Liam. And Liam was now its prisoner, forever bound to the shadows of Blackwood.